Condor in the house.
Yeah.
Here,
Condor in the house.
hanging, talking. Welcome.
Thanks, bro.
All right, let me just introduce Condor. This is Conrad. He's been on the podcast before. We've talked before. He's the infamous man who did the walk from New York to Florida. And now we're here in the Venice house recording with cameras and all that stuff, seeing how it works. But why don't you just introduce yourself, your background a little bit, just so the people that didn't listen to the other podcast know who you are.
All right. I'm Conrad from Malibu. Just checking myself out on this screen. I never seen this. It's pretty cool.
It's nice, right?
Yeah, live feed. This is, first time.
Yeah, we're live right now.
I've had, sporadic life. I was surfer, rode for Quicksilver. They got me back. The guy was like, today.
What time? When did you actually start?
Like
doing
11.
the surfing stuff?
I started 13 to 19. I rode for Quicksilver. Made some money. Did good. Traveled around. Did some contests.
How does that work for surfing?
How
does
you
it,
either
like,
do
turn
like
professional
photo
kind of
trips and all that and make some money, like people love you, you're in the magazines, or you got to just win contests. And so I didn't do that many contests. I did all right, but I went on a lot of like photo trips, had a lot of fun.
How do the people get invited to is there even X Games for surfing, or like is there any kind of actual professional, or is it just like a professional tour?
There's the pro tour, but it's only the 45 best surfers, so it's pretty brutal. It's rough. Yeah.
Oh, in the whole world.
And then every year only 10 make it on, and then 10 are cut. So it's just ruthless. It's insane.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah, but I was.
And that's
pumped.
all ages.
Yeah.
What's the youngest?
I think Griffin or someone made it when they were like 18.
Okay.
Griffin Colapinto from San Clemente. Sick kid. Yeah, Griff.
Yo, Griff. Shouts out to Griff.
Shout out.
Sickest kid. I was cheering him on since he was like 15. I was like, you're going to make the CT. You're the man. Yeah.
That's unreal.
Unreal.
And so he's still on it?
Yeah, he's still on it.
Griff. Yo, Sam, you want to hit that light right
But
there?
I might hit the wave pool in
Turn
a
that
couple
one on.
weeks. I'm so pumped.
Tell me about the wave pool.
So Kelly made his, which is the sickest thing ever. We're having
Alright,
some technical difficulties.
Condor, one
huh?
sec. Technical difficulty. Dude, just the fucking, let me see. Give me it.
Griffin, we need you rolling this shit.
I don't know about even better.
All right, pause for a sec here.
I'm not good at the technical stuff.
That's okay. You're right.
Guys, I'm nervous today.
Why are you nervous?
Do you
You're
need
just
some more
talking,
tequila?
bro. Condor.
Oh, he does.
Yo, this isn't live. This isn't.
Griffin's
if
making me nervous. Or it's the headphones.
Yo, you don't have to be nervous, man. If you're not feeling it, we don't have to fucking put any of it out. We could literally. We're pouring drinks.
Yeah.
Is it Griff? Do we need Griff out of here? We got Griff off camera.
Griff's here chilling.
I think you're getting a little nervous with me right now.
It's because you're 7'8".
I'm sitting down on a beanbag drink.
We got Griff, and no one can see him, but he's sitting down on a beanbag over here, and he can barely fit in this room.
I think if I spread out wide, I could touch both corners.
Honestly, he could.
What's your wingspan? Like a 10.
6'8",
Jesus,
6'9".
man.
But how tall are you actually?
I'm 6'6", but that's
Okay.
why it was crazy when I used to grow up. They thought I was gonna be a climber.
Yeah, you're just big old wingspan, Griff.
Yeah, because they wanted me to become like a rock climber. Because I was really good at it as a kid, and then because that's the biggest part of being your reach is like if you are tall, skinny, and you have a good like natural strength, you can be very good at it. So I used to do it as a kid. And like, you're gonna be the best out there. And it was like my gym, or it was like that weird like rock climbing.
Dude, that my gym was so sick.
It was
I don't
remember my gym?
that.
Griff, if you're gonna talk, you want to hold this for a sec?
I never seen this
I was
my
gonna
gym
get.
either.
Jeez, do we need 4 mics in here? I feel like 4 might be too many people if you're doing like a full one with 4.
Yeah,
But-
might be too much.
Griffins are
Griff, we didn't know you
great.
were coming.
A lot
Griff's
of
a
good
great
people named Griffin.
But
It's a good name. They probably live up to the name.
Do you guys not remember my gym?
I don't remember my gym, no.
My gym was
No.
like the
I remember
kids.
YMCA.
No, my gym was literally like
I
it was like a
YMCA.
foam. It was like a gymnastics kind of place where you went in and it was all like
yeah.
almost like a what is it, parkour course.
Total.
Yeah, it's
You just go and like
It was
mess
like
around.
the 11-year-old version of a parkour course.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was sick. My gym was dope. My mom would drop us off there for like 4 hours.
Yeah, I remember that.
My gym was cool.
Cool slides.
Okay, what did we slide off of there? We were talking about the dude that you love from San Clemente.
Griffin.
Sick
Name
surfer. The
Griffin
wave pool.
also?
The wave
Yeah.
pool coming up.
Okay,
I'm
what's
gonna
the
go to
wave
the
pool?
wave pool. Looks like.
We're going back to your bio in a minute. But what's the wave pool?
So Kelly Slater like made the craziest wave of all time, and it's like this perfect long barrel, and now there's a left on it too, which is nuts. But then these Texas guys, they made one too, and they're like, "Yo, check ours out."
What size is
Theirs
that?
is probably sicker.
What's the best
Maybe
barrel
not
of
better.
all
It's
time?
not better, but it looks a lot of fun. So the Waco one, it has like a full barrel, and then you can do a big air after, which is pretty nuts.
Is there like a certain size for surfing that is like optimum size, like 6 feet, 5 feet, 12 feet? Like what is?
I mean, a lot of fun would be like 5-6 feet, how they have it. But
Okay.
a lot of guys would be like, "Oh, I want a huge one, like 12 foot." But this one, it's sick. Both of them, Kelly's and this Texas one. And I'm pumped because my Quicksilver dude I grew up with, he was hitting me up. "You want to go with the boys? Like they're best surfers." So it's like a dream come true. I was like, "You kidding me? This is unreal." So I texted one of them today. I was like, "I think I'm coming to Texas with you guys." He's like, "Oh, are you riding for Quicksilver again?" I was like, "I don't know. I think I'm more just walking for Quick, repping Quick." You know?
Is that something you would want to do again? Get back
I
into
mean, I'd
surfing?
want to do it. I like.
How hard is it
this
when you get
kinda
out of
deal.
it to get back into it? Something like
It's pretty
surfing?
hard. I don't think I could ever compete with any of those guys.
Is there any of them that are actually is there any surfers that actually train, like work out and train for the sport, or is it just surfing
Yeah,
that
a lot
you
of
train?
them do now.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to the gym, doing all these crazy things for their stomach, legs.
Really?
Yeah, they're going big.
That's pretty interesting.
Surfing is getting nuts. With Brazil, Brazil's crazy. They're the best now. They're
So
better
there's
than us, better than Australia.
Really? Is there like
I
a
mean,
world
pretty
championship
much.
kind of thing for surfing?
Yeah, so John's won the last 2 years, but he's injured, and so now it's looking like this Felipe Toledo might win it because he just won his heat in Chopu, and Julian Wilson lost. So
How does that how does the pro tour work? Like, is there just like 5 or 6 different
there's
tournaments?
10
you know?
events, and then it's best of like your 8 best results compared to the other 45. You know.
Okay.
And so right now Felipe's leading it. It's a Brazilian kid who's insane. Does the biggest airs on like 1 foot waves. He's crazy.
I was gonna ask, what do they grade?
They say it's most critical maneuver in the most critical part of the wave. So if it's like fun little waves, whoever's doing the biggest airs or the biggest turns. And then if it's big waves, whoever's getting the big barrel or sick drops or big turns. So it's all about just ripping the mean part of the wave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't know anything about surfing.
I know,
but
I just
when
love
I
your
watched,
interest.
once you try it, you're like, dude, this is so much harder than.
Sick
It
when you
looks-
got out there the other day. It was fun.
I love it, man.
Yeah,
I love it
that's
so much.
cool.
We've done it. I've done it 3 times.
Yeah,
now.
you've done it a couple
I
times.
haven't really got up on a wave. I don't know if my body's built for it, man. My legs are too big.
You're a beast.
Yeah, but I'm like too heavy for the board. I fucking sink.
But you don't quit. I've seen you out there.
I don't quit though. No, I don't quit though.
Yeah, you went hard.
Yeah.
You went out that day, no?
I went out that day too.
Yeah, but we were like at Griffin's house doing like
That's rough
7
waves.
feet waves, trying to learn on it for the
Yeah,
first
that was
time.
brutal.
I was like pulling into barrels out the back, and you're like, "I'm going." I've never seen anything like that.
The ocean can be mean. It's pretty vicious out there.
Yeah, well, learning to surf in those waves, that's unreal.
Yeah.
Like mean closeout barrels, that's crazy.
What's the coolest places you've been surfing?
South Africa was nuts.
Where in South Africa?
I was in Durban. I want to go to Cape Town because everyone's like, Cape Town's the spot. But I was just in Durban, surfing all these waves. Then we drove across South Africa to Johannesburg, or not Johannesburg, like J Bay, which is the big long right. Crazy place.
What's the difference between right and left? Like
Right
or
means-
what is it?
right
I mean, obviously I know it turns.
Yeah, so the wave peels, and so like if you have an A,
You gotta talk into your mic.
here, then if you're going this way, then it's a right, and if you're going this way over here, it's a left.
And is there a typical wave for most waves, or is it just different everywhere?
In California, it's mostly rights.
Okay.
I didn't think there was any lefts till I was a year into surfing because my 6th grade science teacher said there's no lefts in California. I was so bummed out. I was like, this is tragedy. And then the first time I went left, it was the best day of my life.
So if you're going as like a regular surfer, like with your feet regular or goofy, does that mean that you can't turn one way or the other, or is it just like really hard to do it? So if you're going with your like left foot forward and you're going down a wave, it's easier obviously to turn left, right, rather than it is to turn right. Mm-hmm. This is a stupid question.
No.
It might be a fucking stupid question, but
No.
it's something that I'm thinking.
That's a
'cause
great
I'm like,
question.
Yeah.
I'm out there and I'm like surfing and I'm like, yo, how does someone come down if they're a regular? How does someone get on the wave and go to the right?
And they can't even see it. Yeah, it's tough. It's not as fun. It's
No?
fun. It's a lot of fun, but everyone loves going front side more.
That's
you know,
what's called
having the
front
wave
side.
in front of you, like, whoa, it's the best. But going backside's great.
But it's harder.
It's a little harder. Yeah.
Okay, so go back to where you were. So you were doing surfing. You stopped doing that. You went to Russia.
Went to Siberia.
This a bit. You went to Siberia, did the Mormon trip.
2-year Mormon mission.
Did we talk about that when we were doing? I think we talked about that a little bit.
I think we talked about it a bit.
On the last podcast.
Yeah.
So you did the Mormon trip, and then you came back and you did the walk.
Did
the
walk.
first walk.
Yeah, a few years later.
That took some years off
New
your
York
life.
to Florida. Yeah, that was intense. That was a year ago, pretty much right now.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, feels like forever ago though. Yeah, last September we all went to New York. Me, Rick, everybody.
That was when it started. Was September?
Yeah, it's almost a year ago. And then the California walk.
Itch?
That was awful.
Do you have like the
I have a little bit of the itch.
Go back?
Yeah, a little bit of the itch. A little bit, yeah. But it's like the California one kind of got that out of me because California one I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do this walk.
So you went and did the other. You went and tried to do another walk in California.
Yeah,
that was
and
San Francisco to San Diego.
It was a bad walk. Failed
What was the
mission.
reason for that? And what was the reason? Did
No
you
one
find
liked
harder on
it.
this
No one
coast or
understood the
anything?
cause.
What was the cause for
I
that
didn't
one?
make it through Big Sur. It was awful. It was for the pigs.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was cool because my
Yeah.
brother saves these pigs and he loves his pigs. He'll like sleep with his pigs. He's got
Yeah.
these pigs in his house.
Did
He
anybody
loves them.
donate on this one?
Rescues them. I don't think anyone donated. I don't know. I'd have to ask him because he had some Facebook page.
Wow.
But once I got, it was like from the start I didn't quite have as much fire because the New York to Florida, I was like, this is such a new, crazy, nuts mission, like craziest thing in my life.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah, 1,000-mile walk. This is mental. But I thought like I was gonna get it done in like 2 or 3 weeks. I was like,
Oh,
so
seriously?
much adrenaline. Yeah, but then once
Was that part of the bet? Was how long you had to do it for?
No, there was
It
nothing
just-
like that. So that was good.
Just you got to just do it.
So I ran the first day, and then I realized the next day my legs were dead.
That's great.
Yeah, I did like
Wait, you
30
ran the
miles
first day?
the first day. I was like, I'm
Shut
gonna run
up.
this thing in like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
At any point was Rick like if you would have been there for like another month, would Rick have been like, "Yo, we're done with this"? Like
He would
you need
have
to
he would have
stop,
been
man.
cool with it. I
Really?
think, yeah.
What if it took you like
a couple
5
times
months?
he was like, "Bro, stop doing this thing. Like, I'll give you 20 grand to just stop."
Really?
Because my dad's girlfriend was hitting him up like, "This is blood on your hands, Rick Solomon. You're going down for this one. You're a horrible man."
For what though?
Because he bet me to do it, and so she was like, "Yo, you can't like, put this on this kid to do this
Oh, yeah.
walk."
I think it was sick though.
I thought it was sick. I
Yeah, I
loved
think
it.
it was really cool.
It challenged me for sure.
Oh, dude, that's like a spiritual walk, man.
Yeah.
That's like an intense
It was
thing. 60 days.
It was that and Siberia, definitely what I look back on my life and I'm like, those are the two big.
Why during the
Thanks.
walk did you not decide before like that you were gonna stay at hotels or stay or eat?
Well, Rick was like, no
thing?
hotels, no like.
So he
no
was like, "Yo,
nothing.
you have to live on the street. You have to
Yeah,
eat
you
at
gotta
7-Eleven."
be like a nomad, like Indian style. Go for it.
Wow.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, but then California was terrible too because Big Sur there was nothing, no restaurants, no gas stations. You'd think New York to Florida there'd be some stretches. There wasn't a stretch over like 30, 35 miles, New York to Florida without anything.
Really?
Yeah, it was mellow. You could
But in
go
California
and
was
always
different?
have to stop. California Big Sur there's like 150 miles of nothing.
Oh
Yeah,
no
that's like
way.
just, like,
So
And at
Cliffs.
that point I was like, oh,
Is it
I'm
cliffs or
done. I
forests, or
hit my
what is it?
head. My head was all messed up.
hit your head on
It's
what?
like huge cliffs.
What did you hit your head on?
I was like walking under this underpass thing and like the tree, bang, boom. And then I was over
I was gonna
it.
ask
I was
that.
like,
When you're
I'm out
walking
of
on
here.
the
I'm
long
hitchhiking.
one-
This old dude picked me up.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Big Sur, I didn't walk from San Fran to San Diego. I walked the whole way. I walked was Santa Barbara to San Clemente,
Okay.
and I wanted to do that at least.
That's still
get
pretty
a good
far,
little
though.
mission.
That's
in.
through LA.
It's like 200 miles. But New York to Florida, I walked the entire thing. I didn't get one ride, nothing.
Yeah,
Except for the cops picking me up.
actually walked more because you were walking down the road and cops would pick you up and pull you back.
Yeah. Actually,
So you-
I walked more than it was 1,100 miles total, but it was probably something like 1,200.
Insane. And what was the thing that you were talking about going and doing in a different country?
Another walk.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to do another one day, but I want it to be more organized, where people get the cause. Maybe people come with.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if you could do one where people actually join and do it with
That'd be
you.
cool.
And,
Yeah, that'd be.
but I don't know how
insane.
many other people you would get that would be like, "Yo, I want to sleep on the street too."
Well, maybe we'll do it where we just sleep in people's houses because it's like a little movement, or we just bust out the hotels would be good. Probably a good move. So I had a little PTSD after the walk.
Do you? I was gonna say, do you have
My
any
girlfriend
lasting?
thought I was insane.
Do you have any lasting like
got
injuries
issues.
or anything like that?
I don't have
Not
PTSD.
injuries,
I
but, like-
actually talked to a guy about it. He's like, no, you're good because you don't have flashbacks. I don't have flashbacks, but I have
I don't
a cough.
know. PTSD, like that means just because you don't have flashbacks, it means you don't have any PTSD.
That's what the guy told me.
I mean, I think you could
Shrink.
still. I think
Yeah.
you could still have like triggers when you're.
I've had a cough since the walk, so it's been like.
Yeah, that was what you were saying.
Like
A cough.
7, 8
That's such a
months.
funny thing to come back with. I got a cough. I've had a cough for
It was
7
like-
months, a
Interesting.
year now.
Yeah, it was like my body, the whole walk was like, this is it. You're doing this thing. Like, this is the challenge of a lifetime. My body made it happen. Walk was over. My body shut off. Like, you're a dick. You're going to pay for it now.
Yeah, I believe
And
that.
The cough, it's not the worst thing, you know. I'm all about like looking like a pirate now, and it helps with that thing. You know?
Yeah, we
Coughing,
definitely do. Look at it,
hacking.
man. You look like an absolute pirate. I think like when you're doing the walk though, you're definitely like you're so amped up during it, and you're so motivated during it that your body just like you don't even give it a chance.
Yeah,
like,
you don't
I'm pushing
notice
through this
anything.
shit. I'm not gonna stop here. I'm gonna keep going for the animals, that kind of stuff. But now when you're done, your body's like, yo, you're paying for this now. It's time to reap the benefits of the walk on your body.
Yeah, you're screwed.
And so you did Siberia too, which was
a
harder.
beast. I don't know. If I was doing them again today, Siberia would be harder, just because it's such like a long mental game that you have to be fully like spiritually, mentally, emotionally fully there, and it takes a while to get there because you know you're doing a Mormon mission, you're serving this thing.
Yeah.
And that one's intense. That one.
Do you ever talk to any?
6:30 every day.
You ever talk to any people that are still doing that? Like any kids that are still younger Mormons that are going?
That are going.
That are about to go.
Yeah, I'll talk to them sometimes.
Really?
So, yeah, go for it. Go get them.
Go to this.
You're gonna have the time of your life.
Go to this. What was it? Apteka. Go to this pharmacy and preach. Is where I was holding it down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man. Okay, so
Brandon's ex, I think, is going. Piper. Yeah, I was talking
she's
to
Mormon.
Piper. I saw Piper. Yeah, I went to church. I don't know.
But I thought you do it when you're 18.
Yeah, but you could go as a girl or a guy till you're like, I think 23 or something.
How old were the kids that you were living with when you were there?
All pretty much 19, just like me. The mission.
Yeah,
So
the mission's
intense.
pretty crazy too.
Yeah, such a crazy
One thing
time.
that we didn't talk about last time we talked, we almost got into it, but we were already at like an hour and a half, was when you got back from all of that shit, you got into crypto, and you were like really heavy in it when we were talking about it, and I wanted you to explain in the dumbest possible sense what you could, how you got into it or what it was. And if you don't feel comfortable talking about any of that stuff,
I'll talk some crypto. It's
right.
been a minute, so it'd be good. It's funny.
Has it been a minute? You're not in it anymore?
No, I'm in crypto, but it's funny. It's like when I grew up as a surfer, I felt like I had all these friends. I was the man when there was waves, when there was swell.
Yeah.
Everyone loved me. Like, oh, Conrad, what are you doing? Let's go surf. Then when there was no waves, no one would hit me up. I was like, I have no friends. So it's kind of like crypto, because crypto 6 months ago, December, January, it was like the thing. Everyone and their mom wanted crypto. Everyone, like plumbers, taxi drivers, everyone was buying crypto.
Right.
And so people knew I was doing crypto for a while, so everyone was asking me what to buy, what to do. And so it's crazy.
How
now
did
no
you
one
get-
asks because it just tanked. We're dead now. But let's do a little
I think
thing
that's a
on
little bit
crypto.
example of who your real friends are, maybe. Or
Yeah.
What people.
Griffin hit me up about crypto, but he also hit me up because he's my boy.
Griffin's here, so he's good.
Yeah. So anyway, crypto, I got into it because Johnny Steindorf, sick kid from Malibu, who I think he's the most successful person from Malibu, because a lot of successful people move to Malibu, but he grew up in Malibu poor, just driven kid, and he got into Ethereum when it was like 30 cents.
Was this the dude that's mom did the internet kind of thing? You were
His
talking about?
best friend's mom helped invent the internet.
What
And
do you-
that was a big
explain
kicker
that
for
when
me.
that sentence helped
Yeah,
invent
what?
the internet. Explain what
She
you
was
mean by
there
that.
with the whole, I don't even know, the TCP/IP thing. They did that, and then she sent off the first email with her buddies, and they were the ones. But the interesting thing about the internet is the people who founded the internet, they didn't make any money off of that. You know, the people who built stuff on it, they made money. And that was the huge thing with the .com revolution or whatever. There was all these things like pets.com, and then there's the Amazons. And the Amazon and Apple today is nuts, and then pets.com and those died. And so hopefully that's similar to crypto today in that there's a few of these, but this time it's the protocol layer. It's the actual like fat layer of the internet, because that's what blockchain is. It's another version of the internet, like a better version where you can have it decentralized, and it's all these cool networks that are going to work together, and we'll see.
How does blockchain get like implemented into the world today? How is it going to be like an app, or is it going to be like something that?
So first it needs to scale, meaning they can't do it for more than like a few people. They've had a few apps built like CryptoKitties, and then it just exploded the network. So first they need to scale, and that's been a big long awaited problem that they haven't solved. And then there needs to be adoption. So if those two things happen, then I'll be rich again, because I took 10 grand and I turned it into 1.3 million, and then I lost that million, so now I'm down to like 200-300K. So I've had some sleepless nights. I thought I was the man. I'm like, oh, just another 10x, and I'm at 10 mil.
That's insane.
How long were you up that much?
Real though.
Like,
only for like
plateau for a bit, or
2
was it
months,
just up
like
and down?
December, January.
Yeah, we all were kind of like, I took
I was like
$600 and turned it into like 25,000.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, it was a mental time.
I never got into it at all.
Yeah.
It was just
You're
like,
lucky. It was an emotional roller coaster.
Oh, I believe that.
Oh, it
Absolutely.
was brutal.
So
was
wait,
sleepless
rewind though.
nights in Puerto
Before we
Rico.
go too far ahead, rewind. So you were talking about how you got into Ethereum with Johnny. So you were doing this with Johnny.
Yeah, and Johnny tells the story that he was on the phone telling someone about Ethereum. And I was like, fuck you, Johnny, you're the smartest dude ever. You're not doing this without me. And I was on my computer behind him buying it up. He's like, what are you doing? You don't even know what this is. I was like, well, if you're into it, I'm into it. Because Johnny, he's the smartest kid ever. And so I bought a bunch of Ethereum at $10.
And what is Ethereum?
Ethereum is the main one that's competing to be this protocol layer of a decentralized network, similar to the internet. And a good example of what would be built on this is like a decentralized Uber. Some people hate this example, but it's, I think, the easiest way to explain it, where instead of having, me as your driver and you're my client, with you taking a commission as Uber, we just have me as your driver, you my client, and then we have a network where we can verify and, make each other's reputations good based on all our rides we've done, without Uber taking 10, 20, 30% commission.
But what is
that's what a network would do. There is no company.
So how would you sign up and like have a profile and have the maps and call
just
an
on
Uber?
This open ledger, just on this open network, almost like a blog, open blog, an open ledger.
Who would create the blog though?
That's Ethereum. Vitalik Buterin created Ethereum, and he doesn't own Ethereum. He owns Ethereum tokens, which is how the network can pay for itself. So you'd use these tokens, and apps built on that with their own tokens, and it's this bizarre, dystopia, whatever you call it, all those crazy.
It's hard to understand because you can't fathom
nerds
it right now.
and Burning Man kids are, coming up with this stuff, and if it works, it's going to change the world. But they got a long way to go with this whole scaling problem and adoption and all that.
And so you were with Johnny. You got into Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
You did you know even what Ethereum was, or was he just? Like,
I didn't get it. I didn't get it at
Really?
all. No.
And then
I'd heard of Bitcoin. I bought some Bitcoin, which everyone thinks now that Bitcoin might be the only one that survives.
I thought there was problems with Bitcoin right now, that there's like it's tanking and it's gonna be gone, or.
Yeah, well, everything tanked. Bitcoin actually tanked a lot less than everything else. And that just shows sentiment to the market. Do people believe this is going to change the world? Because nothing's really changed. From when everything was up to now, fundamentally, nothing's changed. We're still trying to solve scaling. Still waiting for mass adoption. There needs to be like custodial, stuff so that all these big funds and the ETFs can launch their Bitcoin things and different crypto funds. But they don't have that yet. And so it's all like battles with the SEC. So really, honestly, I would say Bitcoin is the greatest investment we'll ever see in our lifetime. I think Bitcoin one day in the next 10 years will be like 50 to 100,000 a coin.
And what is it right now?
6,000.
And so it's just going to end up being the same thing as money? Same thing as cash?
It'll probably be the universal trusted money because it's more secure. It's, the greatest. Can't stop Bitcoin.
Okay, and so you
It's unstoppable.
So you started buying Ethereum.
Yeah, and some Bitcoin. I got Bitcoin 900, Ethereum at
This is
10.
way back in the day.
No, this was like end of 2016, I think it was.
That was when you started doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was Johnny doing at this point?
I was working for Johnny doing real estate. I was knocking doors. I knocked like every door in Malibu, every house in Malibu, yeah.
Weren't you
Good
saying that you would
times.
literally walk door to literally along PCH?
I was like, like being a missionary. I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, being on PCH.
You want to sell your house? You
I
want to sell
say,
your
hey,
house? You want to sell your house?
I got a buyer who really is interested in this area. Probably your neighbors probably want to sell. You don't want to sell this house. It's a great house. You don't want to sell this thing. This is amazing. But if you did, I got a buyer. And sometimes they'd laugh. They usually just say, get out of here. And every once in a while I'd talk with people. Who I talked to? The Allstate guy. He was cool. The Allstate.
Did you ever get anyone that was like, yo, let's... Yeah, I know. Did you ever get anyone that was like, hey, maybe I will sell it?
I had maybe one or two. The best one was Martin Luther King's son. Pretty sure it was. Son I think it was his son. Not even grandson, son.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It was in Malibu?
Yeah, I don't think we got the sale, but we talked to him. Johnny got to go in the house. I didn't get to go in the house. So I didn't know it was him because he just talked to me on the recorder thing through the gate.
Yep.
We talked a while, and I was like, yeah, he seems like a great guy. And then Johnny went in there. Johnny's like, yeah, there's all this Martin Luther King stuff all over the house. And then we Googled Dexter King, and it was his son. We're like, whoa.
Damn.
Dexter's the man.
What does he do?
Nice guy.
Yeah, what does he do?
What does Dexter do? We
I
should
don't know.
probably Google that.
Should we look that up?
He's probably out changing the world.
Yeah, like his dad.
It's gotta
Yeah,
be.
he's probably doing
seriously,
work.
that's in the blood.
For all us Malibu people with so many issues.
Yeah.
Okay,
Helping us out.
we've gone off this like 20 times. Go back to, okay, so you're knocking houses, you bought Ethereum. Run us through from Ethereum to 1.5 million back to
Brutal.
300.
Such a roller coaster. So all of 2017, I'm just watching this thing go up, 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 up. And it's crazy. Like psychologically, when all the masses keep thinking it's going up, you always try and tell yourself, what's Warren Buffett say? Buy when there's blood in the streets, sell when people are greedy. It seems simple, but no one sold really. Barely anyone sold. The founder of Litecoin sold all of his Litecoin at like $300. And we didn't even take that as a sign to start selling some of these companies, or not companies, but projects where the founders were even getting out. And looking back, it's like, we're so stupid. But hindsight's a bitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain, like, you're sitting there and you were getting paid in Ethereum, right?
Oh yeah, I got paid in Ethereum too, which was great because at the time Ethereum was like $50. And so then he was paying me like $500 a week. And then by the end of that year, Ethereum was like $500, 2017. And so I was getting paid 10x,
And would you just take everything that you're getting paid and just double it down? Or all of the money that you were making, would you just invest it more into crypto?
I just left it in crypto and I'd buy into more ICOs. And I still have crypto money in strange places. Some where I got to email some of these people to be like, yo, I invested in your ICO. Where's my, Theta coins or whatever you call them? It's crazy weird.
How many different things did you put your hand on over the year?
Jeez, if this is on record, the SEC, IRS might come after me. But probably like 100 plus different cryptos.
Wow.
Maybe 200. I had so many because.
So you're on your phone all day, like looking at the market and stuff like that?
Yeah, and I just look for the smartest people in the space, smartest people outside the space looking in. Best projects. I got pretty good at seeing, what's going to at least go up, but also I thought, which ones might change the world because you get it in your head like, I'm going to be the one. I'm going to have a bunch of the Amazon of this age. I'm going to have a ton of it. And so you had to pick a few and hope you get a couple winners. And today it's looking like Bitcoin might be the only winner, but that's in this down market. So we should be buying. There's blood in the streets.
I'm a little scared about it. I don't know if I trust it. I'm a little bit confused by it. I don't really know enough about it.
Yeah.
Didn't you get to the point where you were like so invested in it that like you started working in it, like actually like working for a company or working for?
Yeah, and then
like,
I went to Puerto Rico to move there.
Oh yeah, you moved to Puerto Rico, Crypto Rico. You called it, right?
I had a job out in Crypto Rico.
What was the job?
Just a consultant.
And why was it Puerto Rico that everybody was moving to that was in crypto?
I mean, the real reason I think is because the tax benefit. They have this Act 20, Act 22, where basically you don't pay any taxes, which is crazy, and you still keep your U.S. citizenship. But a lot of them are doing really cool stuff too, like helping all the locals with all the damages from the hurricanes. So we'd go out and about and help with that. But I think first and foremost, it was, save your money. But it was also cool to help out and do some stuff.
And then when did it kind of turn? When did it like you were in Puerto Rico, and when I talked to you when you were in Puerto Rico, you were like, yo, I'm living here for a while. I might buy a place here.
Yeah.
And so when did it switch from there? Because
I had no friends, and I missed home. I was a little out of place there, I think. I'm a surfer guy.
Can't surf there?
I got a finance degree. I just didn't have any friends, really.
Yeah.
I had friends, but I don't know, they're kind of more like nerdy. And how I saw it is like they're like these nerds who, now they got some money and now they just swung the pendulum way over here and they're like Burning Man 24/7 doing acid till 6 in the morning. I was like, wow, these guys go.
Aggressive.
Yeah, these like
One
Venice
path.
One
hippies
path
with long
to take,
hair. I was like, wow, you guys go big. I just wanted to surf all day and, do some crypto.
Is that how a lot of the people in the crypto world are? It's like the kids of the Burning Man kind of group?
It's Burning Man, yeah.
Really?
They love the Burning Man, yeah. That's those crypto guys. Really smart kids, and now they're like, oh, I'm gonna go party,
It's probably gonna be the same kind of kids there, like the VR, AR kind of kids.
Yeah, they're on another level.
Okay, so you were there, and then you decided like, yo, I'm out.
Yeah.
Did you ever like have a point where with like the money and stuff that you were like, yo, I'm done with crypto, or were you always like, fuck it, I'm gonna stay in this for as long as I'm alive, or I'm not gonna pull out at all?
A lot of them, I'm like, I'll watch this thing go to zero. Just
I'll burn with
ego
it
or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna burn with it. But others, I've taken some profits, but I kept it in Tether. Tether is pegged to the dollar, so you basically have your dollars, but it's in crypto land on these weird exchanges.
And then you can use Tether to buy other ones?
I can use Tether to buy other ones, or if I want to cash out, I can put that Tether.
Did you never decide to cash out with any of it during the whole thing? Like, yo, I want to pull a little bit out for
Not anything? Really, besides the whole Tether thing, yeah.
Dude, that's
stupid.
So crazy.
You'd think 1.3, just take 300K out.
I know.
Nope.
Was anybody around you telling you, like, hey, just take some of it out? Or was that
Our movie recording has been stopped automatically?
Okay. You want to click it? No, not on that one. On the top one.
Are we flowing right now?
Yeah, we're flowing. I mean,
is this
like
good shit?
Yo, just on the camera, on the back of it, click the record. Sam, you want to do it?
Yeah, I do.
Is this it?
Yeah, right there. Yeah, just click it.
Start?
Yeah. And it should come back on. There, we're good. Thanks.
Technical.
Wait, we're back again. I don't know how long. Yeah, you can pull up a chair if you want to, bro.
Honestly, I'm pretty comfy.
Is this one still recording too? Yeah, we're good. All right, so before we switch into some of these questions, which is the funnest thing.
Yeah, we'll get so deep.
We love. Yeah, well, we needed to hear that crypto stuff.
Yeah,
so just tell me,
crazy, man.
Give me the final. Where are you at right now? Are you diving into it more? Are you out of it completely, or are you still gonna be crypto condor?
I'm crypto condor. So my boss right now, this guy Bob, he's the sickest sports bettor, basketball bettor of all time.
Yep.
I'll meet people. He's like, oh, that guy's a genius. Really cool guy. One of the smartest dudes I've ever met. And it's great to be around him with this down market because he's like...
Is he into this stuff
He
too?
says this is the greatest investment you'll ever have in your lifetime. Bitcoin.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he
That's
says
so crazy.
Bitcoin is the jam.
How do you get these jobs working for these people, man? It's like
Started out as surf lessons.
To him to the dude Johnny, like...
Yeah, I look for these smart, successful, good dudes, I guess, or maybe I don't. I don't know. As Bob, I was giving him surf lessons, and then he was like, "You wanna work for me?" One of the first days we were hanging out was the France-Belgium game. I was like, I think Belgium's got this one. So he bet like $30K on Belgium, and then they lost, and I was like, oh. It was a little awkward. And then the next day, we were both like, yeah, Croatia's going to take England. And this guy, you know, he's a gambler. He's a beast. So England was up 1-0, and he made a bet. And with 1-0, England, the odds were really good for Croatia to lose. So it was like 6-1, 7-1. So then he made like a ton of money on that one. Killed it. And then he's like, yeah, bro, you want to work for me?
Then he felt better about you.
Yeah, he's like, this kid's all right.
Yeah, okay, give the story, because she hasn't heard it yet, and I don't think anybody listening
the money
about
story?
the money story that you were telling me about with him.
So this was like a week in, and, you know, things were going great. Me and Bob are like, you know, I really like Bob. Bob loves me. We're grooving. And then he's got a house Malibu in Venice. So he's going to his Venice house. There's a counter with like, I don't know, a big wad of cash. Turned out it was 20 grand cash. And I seen it, and I think he saw that I saw it, but I didn't touch it. So I'm helping him pack his stuff. He gets to Venice an hour later. He's like, yo, where's the money? I was like, oh, it's got to be in your backpack or somewhere. Another hour goes by, and he's like yelling at me. I know you took the money.
No.
Like, you terrible thief, blah, yelling. I don't know what he was saying. And he's like calling Rick and these people like, is that Conrad a thief? Like, what do you do this? And it just got real bad, and I'm yelling, like, put me on a fucking lie detector. Like, I didn't do it. I'm freaking out. Another hour goes by. I'm, like, crying. I think my life's over because my reputation and everything's just done, and no one, you know, Conrad's a thief. And then I'm outside the house. He comes out, and now he's, like, crying. He's like, oh, come here, bro. I'm so sorry. We hug it out. We're both, oh, you know. And the money somehow fell into, like, some weird shirt, and then he found it. He's like, take all the money, take all the money. I was like, no, just call everyone I'm innocent. Tell him I'm innocent. But I ended up getting, like, half the money, so it was good.
That's brutal.
Yeah, so he
gave
offered
you
him
half the money?
Yeah, I think I got, like, 6 or 7K.
You told me he was calling all of the other people that you knew in Malibu saying, Conrad's a thief, like, Conrad's, like, you need to get this
I think
kid
he was,
out
like,
of
kind of
here.
asking, but he's like, what's this kid's deal? Yeah, like,
Damn.
so it was awful, like,
turned out
that
great,
feeling
though.
when everyone's like,
It turned out unreal.
Turned out a great day. It was emotional.
And it probably made you
roller
guys a little bit closer, too.
Yeah.
Because he's like,
Yeah.
this kid's got me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
he's
got his
chilling.
back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now I should set up a few heists, like fake robberies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw, who was it, Scott Disick, like the next day at this party, and he was like, you're the fake robbery kid, huh?
Oh my god.
So yeah, he's like, that turned out pretty good. That was
There's
a good
so
move.
many legends about you that are out there. You're the kid that went to Russia. You're the kid that did all the crypto.
Yeah.
You're the kid with the walk.
The Mormon.
You're the Mormon, dude. You're literally a walking, like, you're like a mythical creature.
I try to live life like Siddhartha or Forrest Gump, where you get your feet in everything, you dabble
I haven't
around.
read Siddhartha, but I've heard that that's another
Oh,
book.
Siddhartha's
Actually, I
great.
think you were the one that told me you should
Siddhartha,
read that.
it's like The Alchemist, but Alchemist is more like the journey.
We got The Alchemist out there.
Just going forward. Oh, The Alchemist is great. But
I haven't even read that
Siddhartha's
one
more
either.
like
Yeah, me neither.
he tries like, you know, a life of solitude. He tries a life of vanity. He tries a life of this, that. And I forget how it ends, but he ends finding like the one.
He ends loving his life.
Yeah, he's good.
Is it? That's not an autobiography or anything,
I
is
don't
it?
want to spoil it for anyone.
You're not spoiling it.
Great book. Jeez.
You're telling that's your phone. Okay, we should dive into some of these because these are great. And let me just throw one out. I'll pick one and then we'll go through it, and then you pick one. Just so people that are listening, it's just a fucking 1,000 questions.
Am I looking here or here?
Either one. They're just a bunch of questions.
Oh, okay.
Let me just throw this one out and you can both answer it. We can all answer it.
Yeah, let's get Sammy on there first.
Yeah, Sam. Well,
I get
we can all
nervous when
answer
I'm
it.
the first one
Welcome.
talking.
Put you on the spot right now, Samantha.
Yeah.
You're gonna answer this one.
Okay.
What's a skill that you would like to master? Condor. Did that just turn down the headphones? Are you guys okay?
Sam,
No,
you're
I'm
up.
good. The skill I'd like to master, I guess it's all around a lot, but I would want to master yoga
Ooh.
for sure. I
Yeah,
think
that's a good one
I think
because-
that's something I'm on right now, and I want to master it so bad.
Yeah, I love yoga.
I do
you ever
too.
do yoga?
Dabbled with it a little bit.
I feel like you're someone that would love yoga.
I got to get into it.
You look like a yoga teacher
Yeah,
right now.
I've definitely done a lot of yoga classes, but I've never gone like a full like few months where I'm on the grind.
Yeah, you
every
can't
other
do yoga
day.
with just like a once
Yeah,
a
it
week
doesn't-
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it has to
doesn't
be,
really
like,
catch
dedication,
You got to be like,
yeah.
yo, I'm gonna do it. 3 times a week for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
And
my
then
first
at
time
3
I
weeks,
went,
you're
I was like, it was all right.
the first like couple months I was doing it with like hockey players, I would go in there and leave and like make jokes about like, dude, do you remember that fucking posture we had to do? Like, can't believe we had to do that. But I swear, if you do it for a couple weeks, you're like, this is so sick.
You guys been on the grind?
We
We
haven't
haven't done
lately.
yoga, dude. I'm still paying for yoga like $100 a month. I haven't gone in 2 months, but I love
not
it.
funny,
Like
but
if
yeah.
when we're doing it, I love it.
Yeah. I want to try acro yoga.
Yeah, that's
really
pretty cool
bad.
too.
Yeah.
Have you seen that shit?
I've seen that. Yeah. It's
Acro
good
yoga is
stuff.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's
What's the
pretty
skill you would want to master?
Skill I'd want to master. I don't know. I think just some of my issues for sure. Like today, a stupid one, but I couldn't find my passport, so I missed out on going to Mexico. So
Yeah.
I kept like thinking, and I've been all fired up on it. Like after I found my passport, I organized all my stuff, and I'm like, oh, I'm the organized guy now. You know, I want to master. Like I'm gonna be so, on it with all my stuff, like phone, wallet, keys, passport. And I just
How's your room
organized it.
look? Like where you
Now my room's clean.
Yeah.
It was
Are you
really
a messy
dirty.
person?
I'm a little messy.
Yeah.
And I want to master, like, letting things go even physically with all the junk in my room. I'm like, life's so good when I just let things go. I saw my boss, Bob. He's like, keeps his house, nothing in it really.
Ooh.
Oh,
Are you kind of a
really?
hoarder?
A little bit of a hoarder.
I am too.
My mom's a hoarder.
I'm a hoarder for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
I'm
I
working
read
on
that
it.
book.
I got a lot of stuff at my house too.
Art of
that I haven't,
Tidying
like-
Up. Art of Tidying Up. It's a great book. It's
Yeah.
like this big Japanese book they love. Japan, real good at this, I'm sure. I mean, the book changes people's lives.
I've heard that so many times.
There's a testimonial. I got rid of my husband because he was terrible after reading
Stop.
this book. Yeah,
Seriously?
Yeah, it's serious.
And it talks about tidying up your
yeah,
whole life, or
getting
just
rid of.
like,
Yeah, but it ties things in with like get rid of bad habits and people and things in your life.
yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it's so good.
Jordan Peterson talks about that a lot. Tidy your room, and then everything kind of starts to fall in place. But that's the first thing. Clean your fucking room.
Make
I
your
want to
bed.
have the
Make
skill
your bed.
to be.
Is that what it is?
To be
yeah,
on
it's the
Jordan
first thing.
Peterson's level.
Make your bed.
Make your bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make your bed every morning?
Some mornings. I'm okay about that one. Today, I went above and beyond since I'm in that mood, and so I tore off all the sheets.
Above and beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should
I'm,
write something like that down.
organized,
Like write down
tidied.
like a list of stuff that you did today, and then like every once a week, rip it and see how good you feel. You're good.
Yeah.
Feel
Yeah,
like
I
you're
should. But that's just my mood today. I'm usually that's like last on my totem pole. I'm all about like I'm gonna find meaning in the mountains and like search for the stars and that kind of stuff.
That's what you're in right now.
That's
Is that what you
what
wanna
I'm
do?
usually
Is that
in my. That's who I am. I'm like I'm a dreamer. I'm a I like inspiring, visionary type things. I don't
Yeah.
like the nasty little tidy up. I hate
Do you
that.
think? Do you
But
think
today I
that's
was
because you were like raised that way, or do you think you like just have always been like that? Like, is your parents like that? I mean, I met your dad, which was unreal. We met him.
Dude, your dad
Oh,
was
you
wearing a
did.
mesh
Yeah,
jersey
yeah.
with 2 or 3 chains, walking some dogs. It
He's
said
the
his
biggest-
name on the back.
He's the
number
biggest
on the
mad
back.
dog of all time.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
he was
absolutely
great.
is.
We gotta get him on the show.
I would love to talk
Oh,
to him.
jeez.
But
Yeah,
like
he's an
honestly, like I feel like do you think that your parents were like that, so you kind of
Yeah. I think I got a lot of my dad in me, which is he's loves his adventures
Yeah.
and going off, and he's had a really crazy life. So I think there's a lot because of
Yeah.
that.
How is your mom? I haven't met your mom too much. Is your mom kind of like
My mom's
free
solid
spirit
as a
also?
rock. She's a bit of a free spirit. When she raised us, she was just like, solid as a rock, real solid, normal mom. And now she goes out and she parties a bit and has fun. And
Nice.
she was, I think, a little bit of a hippie back in the day.
Oh, I could totally see both of your parents.
Spandy
Your
the
dad
hippie.
not a hippie back in the day?
He was probably full on, just
Woodstock.
savage, the Gare.
Conrad, have you ever been to the Nazi hike?
The Nazi hike?
It's this old bomb shelter that a guy created back in the 30s that he was a Nazi.
You're good. I'm just gonna hold it close to you.
Yeah, he was a Nazi and he created this whole place, like kind of near Topanga in Temescal, of a whole pretty much Nazi camp that was like meant for when the Germans came. Everyone that like wanted to become or was a Nazi supporter in the U.S. or in California would go. And obviously that didn't happen. So it's all these abandoned buildings at all these crazy. Do you take like a couple hundred steps down from the top of a mountain to this little like canyon? and it's all these taggers go. It's like a really spiritual place. It's cool.
I'm pretty sure I've been there. I'm pretty sure my dad does love that place. I think we used to go Camp Giuseppe. I think it's near there. It's over around in there.
In the Palisades.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like in the middle of the most place you would never think to look.
Yeah, the Nazis
Nazi,
just going for it.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty bizarre.
It's a Nazi thing?
Never heard
the
of
Nazis
this.
were in California ever. What do you mean? So confused.
Some gnarly people.
Such dicks?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Seriously. The skill that I would like to master is definitely surfing right now.
Yeah,
Now that
you're all
dude,
about
I got
it.
the itch. I got the itch.
You should have seen us the other
JT's
night.
got
We went
that
out.
itch.
It was like pitch black, and homie's still out there.
I'm out there with like the
JT's
helicopter, like with the
I'm not
spotlight, making sure
stopping.
no one's on the beach.
Where'd you go?
Just right in front of here, right in front of Santa Monica.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I'll go anywhere, man, where there's waves.
Bro, hit me up.
Try
Dude,
to
I need the
hot tub.
lingo. I need like the surf lingo. I need like 10 different sayings that I could say to people.
Bro, dial my number. I'll dial you in.
Could you actually teach me for a week?
Surfing?
Or maybe once a week, like for maybe a month or something like that, so I could actually know because I can get out there and stuff like that, and I have no fear, but I just don't know.
Yeah, I'll
exactly
give you
how
a couple little things, and
Yeah.
it'll change your world.
It's harder than it looks.
It's tough.
Way harder. And you get on the little board. I had Zach's board once. I mean, I did it with a big board. And it was
Yeah, you're a
okay, but
big
I had the
dude.
Zach's board once, and it was like, dude.
So I think we already need to work on the lingo. I think it's longboard, isn't it?
Yeah, longboard. What did I say? Big
Longboard.
board. I had the big
Yeah,
board.
the big board.
Yeah, give me some
The
fucking-
big log. Big sucker. Big whale.
All right, okay. Let's keep going. Condor, this is probably one you would love. What's the weirdest situation you've been put in?
Weirdest
Dude, this is probably something
situation.
in Russia.
Probably Russia.
Or like Condor walking down
Ti-
the street.
Today's
Yeah.
a funny one.
Dude, I mean, there's so many. Actually, I don't know even why I said Russia. The walk.
I've probably
There's
been in so many
different-
weird ones. Oh, man.
Dude, I feel like Spider-Man crawling on the floor here.
Yeah, you're good.
Today's was funny. My boss and I guess my girlfriend, they ended up going to Mexico together. And since I lost my passport, I stayed behind.
And you asked her,
So I
like,
think
yo,
that's
you want to
more
go?
of a
And-
weird situation. Well, yeah, like, yo, let's go to Mexico with Bob. He's going. We could go. Bring your friend. And so we were all planning on going this morning, and then I couldn't find my passport.
Are you going?
I'm going to try and go tomorrow
Okay.
morning. I just got my ticket. So I'm hyped.
Did you get the ticket now?
Yeah,
So
I
you're
got
going.
the ticket.
And we're in Mexico.
Puerto Vallarta.
Never been.
Oh, unreal.
You been?
No.
Wait, so where
Oh, unreal. That's
weirdest
great,
But
Zach.
it is
Never
beautiful.
been.
No, I've
seen
totally seen
pictures.
photos. It's beautiful. I mean, anywhere in Mexico's.
You're gonna tell me that there
Mexico's
not
great.
like a crazy situation that happened in Russia with like people not liking what you're doing or like you getting in fights.
Oh,
or
I had
any
a
shit
good one.
like
This
that?
one's funny. I'll tell you this one. But I love these weird, awkward situations. So I was like a little more than halfway through my mission. So I'm training another elder, another missionary. So my companion is fresh into the field, as they say. And so Elder Theobald, we call him, great kid from Utah. Just, probably never been out of Utah in his life. Just by the book. He didn't want to be there. It was pretty crazy. He was like, he felt pressured to go on his mission and he didn't want to go. And I was the opposite. I was like, I'm going on my mission because I want to go. I want to like find God and do all these amazing things, help some people, blah, blah, blah. But he was there just, because it's part of the culture living in Utah where he was. It's like, full on. You got to go.
Right.
So I'm training him. We had nothing in common. It was pretty rough. He thought I was insane. I'd look in his diary and he'd be like, "You are insane." All this
my
stuff.
God.
Yeah. And so
What does
weirdest
training entail? What do you have to do for training?
training, it's just an extra hour, and I just kind of like take the lead and say, okay, now we go do this, because it's his first time out on the mission in Siberia and Russia, and so I do like follow the handbook for how to train a new elder, like okay, yeah. And make him feel good, stuff, just normal stuff,
Yep.
Getting someone into something. So we go out on the street one day, and he's like, we have no people to teach. There's no members. Like, this is not what I thought the mission was like. This is awful. Hated it. And so I'm like doing everything I can to get any sort of makeshift like meeting. Like, yo, you want to learn about God? You want to read the Book of Mormon to people? And it'd usually be like nuts people or homeless people or whoever. So we see this car accident one day, and it's like -30. It's freezing. So we see this car accident. It was just like a, good solid, rear end. right next to us. People get out. I'm like, oh, let's go see what's good. So I go up, and then there's this guy pops out of one car and this girl, and she seems like all out of sorts. Like, yo, this just crashes how she's freaking out. I'm thinking, yo, she's just tripping a bit because of the crash. He is too. They sort it out while I'm kind of like, what's up? We're just these guys from America doing a mission here, God's servants, doing good things. And she's like, yeah, that's great. You know, I'm like, okay, she's into it. So we get in the car. So they're like, yeah, we're going to the mall. Do you guys want to come? I was like, Theobald, let's
You
go.
just got in the car?
So we jump in the back seat, right? And we're cruising. And I'm trying to make conversation, but I'm starting to realize, like, they're pretty out of it. And then the chick pulls out this needle, and
No.
she shoots it into her lip. And I'm like,
Into her lip?
yeah, like into her lip. I'd never seen anything like it. Well, I'd never seen someone do heroin, but I'm pretty sure it was something like that.
Heroin?
I don't know, it was something. It was called like buterot or buter something in Russian. So I don't know. I never figured out what that meant. And so I'm like, oh, this is insane. While the guy's driving, he does it too.
Holy.
So
You're in the back seat of the car.
I'm in the back seat.
And they're shooting heroin into their lip.
But I'm like,
seat.
so I'm
they're
thinking,
driving.
I'm God's servant. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to change the world right here. I'm going to change lives. So I pull out a Word of Wisdom pamphlet. Word of Wisdom is this section in the Doctrine and Covenants where it talks about no smoking, no drinking, no doing drugs.
Oh my God.
So I pull it out and I open it to the lady and I'm like, Nilzia, which means, not allowed. She's laughing, I'm like, no, Nilzia, you can't. Like, God forbids this, that. So I'm like, inside, I'm like, this is insane. Like, this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. We almost get in a couple accidents, like swerving, sliding. We're trying to get out. We're like, no, come to the mall. And he's going so fast. And they're so, lit or high, whatever. So we end up getting to the mall and, like, we get out. Got their numbers anyway so we can, help them get over their addictions through Christ and make it happen. But then the funny thing was Theobald was like, he was pretty shooken up, but he was like, at least they weren't smoking weed.
No.
Yeah.
And
I was like,
tell him, like, yeah,
I was like, Theobald, that was a little worse than weed, I'm pretty sure. He's like, no. Smoking marijuana that's the real deal. I was like, all right.
That's the worst. Like, that was what he thought, or is that what a lot of
yeah,
because
I don't think. I think him just in his little sphere. Mormons, they're pretty savvy usually. Yeah. But he was just this funny one where he just didn't grasp the
I can't believe that
situation.
Once you got into the car, then they're doing heroin in the car.
Witnessing that is
and you're watching that, and then nothing happened. Like, no accident, no, like, they don't take you somewhere and rob you or take you somewhere and you're like, oh.
Nice couple.
Great people.
And I love how they chose to put it in their mouth while you were in the car.
Yeah, that's the most
They were a little lost.
For just putting it in the mouth in general.
Yeah, in general, really bizarre.
Yeah.
Heroin into the lip.
I think it was like it
wasn't like the chewing tobacco that you like pack and then it's a syringe and it goes into your lip.
That's actually a thing?
Yeah, in Europe they have like this chew that's like,
oh, really?
It's not tobacco, it's like kind of like a clay. And you have to, and it's not a syringe with a needle, it's like a syringe like that you would have like a baby.
So maybe Theobald was right. He's a lot savvier than I thought.
It's a very different syringe. That's like medicine.
A different syringe. This is like a medicine syringe that like
your mom
how
gives
if you have
medicine?
like liquid and you kind of like pull it out.
That was actually like a needle, right?
Kind of like that.
Yeah, it looked scary. Whatever it was, it looked like a scary needle.
Like that.
I don't know, man. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. They're doing heroin in the car.
This is Mother Russia.
Yeah, I mean,
and the town is called Omsk, which was one of the heavy. Oh yeah. Did you go to Omsk?
I didn't go to Omsk, but I was.
Omsk was a beast.
I wasn't on the trip, but there's the avant-garde team there.
Omsk stands for Отдельное место сил каторжников, which translates to like secluded place for the captives. So it was a gulag. Omsk is a former gulag.
Really?
And so it kind of has that feel to it, and the water would be brown sometimes. It was just the most eerie, intense city.
Ugh.
Yeah, I loved Kemerova and Novosibirsk. I lived in Omsk for like 3 months. Cool. I love Novosibirsk. Yeah. Great people. I mean, the most beautiful girls I'd ever seen by a mile. And really nice people. And then Kemerova was where I did most of my mission. And that was cool, too, because when I first got there was no one showing up at church. By the time I left, there was like 30 people, which was cool to see. A lot of them crazy, like a lot of them were mentally challenged or, girls sort of my age. But that's
Yeah, we were
kind of how
saying
it
that
came
before.
about.
A lot of the girls that were there just wanted to sleep with you because you're just the American dream coming over as a surfer. They're
You
like
could be
sitting
right.
there and you're like, no, you need to listen to the word, and they're just like,
Oh,
Conrad, we love you.
Читай здесь. Not a pakaysia. Need to repent.
I'm surprised you
That's
didn't.
my line.
I'm surprised you didn't come home with a Russian girlfriend.
Bro, I'd preach on the bus. I'd you know.
So when you're over there, did you have to like
They'd be
report
yelling at
back
me.
to somebody in the U.S. like, hey, I'm doing this. I got this many people coming to church.
Our
that kind of
mission
thing?
president did. So yeah, it's a very good system. So we do our tallies, how many people we contacted, how many came to church, how many we baptized.
Wow.
Which baptisms are rare. That's like, once every few months maybe.
Is there
and then
like-
that goes to President Gibbons, our mission president, great guy. And then that goes to the Area 70 and then back to Utah. So
Is there like a competition when you go back? It's like this kid converted this many people.
It's not supposed to be, but it's like, the average is, like one baptism. So it's, you want to like strive for that or beat that, in
Yeah.
East Europe, East Russia, it's like one baptism's an average for the 2 years. So you don't really get many. But I mean, we had the craziest times, and I still look back on my mission and think, even though I'm not the best Mormon anymore, I think it was either God or the universe, something. When you striving to do good things, and you're putting that out to God, the universe, what have you, it happens. And for example, the craziest day of my mission, I'd say, me and Blake, we got to reunite. I lived with him 6 months, and then he got transferred. I got transferred. We got to do a strike mission in Kemerova. This is when I was living in Novosibirsk. So we were both so excited to go to
What's
our
a strike mission?
So the Area 70 guy from Utah told President Gibbons, like, you guys got to step it up. Let's go. Or he told all of us. So President Gibbons says, you're all going to Kemerova. By all means, if you can get a baptism by Friday, that's amazing. And it was Wednesday.
No, wait, this is literally like a military mission.
Oh, it was the greatest
there.
time of my life. So we get there like Wednesday night. We're so fired up. Like tomorrow, and we're praying, we're fasting, we're like, trying our best to be as, good, holy, people, so we can just be God's conduit to save someone and baptize them by Friday. So we go out on the streets all day. We're like ninjas going through the sketchiest part of town. I was preaching. We got chased through this crazy cave thing out the other side by these guys who were probably some crazy druggy dudes who wanted to kill us, running so fast. I think a dog came after us. Another dude, I remember meeting a guy who was like, I'd do heroin or over my son's life. I'm a heroin addict. We were in the hood of hoods.
Damn.
We get back to the church. We go in. We're like, man, I think we did good, but I don't know if we found someone who's going to get baptized Friday. And then these two kids walk up, and they're like, what's up? Well, what's up? You guys want to read the Book of Mormon, maybe get baptized Friday if you think it's true? They're like, yeah. They got baptized Friday.
Really?
2 dudes, 2 kids,
Really?
like my age, yeah. So it was like so cool to have such a potent couple days of like this spiritual experience or this missionary experience. It was pretty unreal.
That is pretty crazy when you're over there and you're like so in it.
So
how
in it.
motivated you probably are during that. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when you
And-
think that's like your dream, that's like
Yeah,
your goal
this is
with
it.
life.
That was it. That was like the greatest moment ever. And then it's really interesting to think, because while I'm having that experience, at the same time, throughout the mission, I met a lot of Muslims, for example, and Buddhists too, different, Orthodox,
And they're doing the same thing.
Hindus. But yeah, so say like these Muslims I met, I was real adamant about my faith, but then these Muslims, they'd have some of the most interesting stories similar to that one I just said, where for me, I'm like, wow, this person just had a crazy experience too that basically proves their theory, their faith is right, and God's on their side. And so I was like, that's where I kind of, after my mission, part of me started leaning towards like, maybe God really just helps everyone on their path if it's a good one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's something that we talk about a little bit, is that like that's the spiritual path, whether it's religion or just spirituality or whatever. It's almost like all of the paths kind of lead to the same destination. It's just different paths for different people.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what I mean. That's the way that I think about it, because it's like Christianity, Buddhism, like all that stuff. It's like different teachings and a different like route to get there, but it's all kind of leading to the same thing, same kind of experiences, or very similar ones.
Yeah, the principles are all the same. You
Yeah.
know, most fundamental, I'd say it's golden rule, different things, and it all same principles,
Yeah, exactly.
just different ways you
What was
get
it
there.
that Andy Milonakis was saying when we were talking another day about he had that one question. He asked you one question
was
that
it?
was like pretty deep, and then we riffed on it for a sec.
It was good. It was just getting good there, huh?
Yeah,
What was that question?
I can't remember. It was something about, do you find like differences between that and like, you know, the reality of that, and like how really all of it is a maybe, and really all of it is just kind of based off of perception, and like,
Yeah, I remember the question. It was something along the lines of, it's really interesting when you're in that sphere how you're so absolute about everything.
Yeah.
Like you're so absolutely sure that, you know, you need to do this, 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 and this to get to heaven, or this, 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 and this. And it's really interesting because when you have that, yeah, we talked about how you feel so secure in that. You know, you have this safety, this home of, you know, I'm living this life, going to heaven for sure right after. And then when you leave that, you lose that safety, but you I guess, open up to different ways of thinking and understanding
totally
that
that,
spiritual
yeah, that's what the
sense.
question was, yeah. And
do
it
you-
is crazy though. You think
The
about
Mormons
it.
might be right. The Muslims might. I'm not 100% sure. I'd lean
Right.
towards the Mormons, but probably because that's what I grew up as. They could be right. South
But what
Park
is
said they were
though?
right.
I don't think there's any absolute truth.
Yeah, I'd probably lean towards that. But if there were one, because a lot of them say like the others are kind of right, but we're like right. You
I don't
know,
know though.
they say that.
Some of the
Most of them
rules
say
with,
that.
with Mormonism is pretty hectic, right? Like pretty
Yeah.
intense, and like, isn't it like, you know, you can't do this, can't do that, or else you're not going to go to heaven.
Mm-hmm. To a degree, sorta, because
Yeah.
there's like kingdoms in heaven, and if you end up accepting it, you're all good and you go to the top. Because I think a lot of people get too stuck on the rules when it's more about the spirit of the thing.
With
And I think all religions.
With all of them, and I think you probably know really a ton about that too, is because you were really involved with it, like knowing exactly what we were just the Andy question about, like when you're in that sphere, and it is so absolute, and you're so sure of it, and you're like, this is right, this is right, this is right, and you kind of like push it out to other people. You know, this is what you're supposed to do, and it's your truth, which isn't wrong for anybody, but at the same time, it's like, is that really true, or is it your truth? Is it an absolute truth, or is it just your perspective?
It's gonna be interesting when kind of eerie, but when we die and we kind of find out, I guess.
Yeah, but who's
Sorta.
gonna know though?
That's
Yeah,
I think
you
that's
only
one
know
of
until
the
you die.
that's one of the craziest things about life. You know, that's the wildest thing.
Which is exactly what it's like. You know, that's why you get to choose. You get to choose, and your truth is your truth, and you take it to the grave. And no one knows after.
No one knows.
Do you agree with that? Like the absolute truth kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
no, I definitely agree. I mean, I think that, you know, you do get really comfortable in what if you do fall into something. Like I was super involved in my faith, and, you know, I could go really deep into that, but yes, I completely agree.
Which one?
I was really involved in Christianity.
Yeah.
Which I still believe in God, and I still, you know, have all firm. Are we stopping?
No, just pause. Keep going though.
Oh, I still deeply believe in God and Jesus and all of it, but I was a part of something where I was preaching all the time, where I thought that, you know, this
That's
was
cool.
the way.
That's cool.
Keep going, though. Keep
Definitely was a huge part of my story, and I'm so grateful for it. But, you know, you get caught up in the rules and the bad and the good, and you know, you want to be good. And so I think that now I can be like, you know, you kind of don't let other people tell you what's good or bad,
Yeah.
which is, you know, a huge.
It's funny because when I was like that, because I was similar like that, part of me sort of knew too that it was like almost comical. Like I'd
Yeah.
be preaching to someone on the street, I'd be like, "Your cigarette, you might burn in hell." You know?
Yeah,
'Cause,
no.
I wouldn't say that because people are like, "Connor, you can't say that kind of stuff," but it was to an extent. That's kind of like what
Yeah.
we're preaching some of the time. You're not gonna burn in hell. Sorry, you can't
It's a
say
crazy
that.
thing though, because if you look at someone and say, your thought would be like you're gonna burn in hell because you're smoking a cigarette, but then it's like no judgment, but then we're like judging, and then it's such a like a
That's
thing.
the problem that I have with organized religion to that extent is the judgment.
Yeah.
It's like it's supposed to be a thing. Hey, come on into our house and you're welcome. We accept everybody, but you right there, you're doing things wrong.
Yeah.
You're living wrong. Come into our house and we'll love you and we'll teach you how to feel amazing and joy and bliss and all that. But you need to follow these rules. You have to do this and this and this. Where like I don't agree with that. I agree with the essence of all the religions.
Yeah.
And with like I think that all the scriptures of the ones that have been passed down over tons and tons and tons of years have been misinterpreted now to where it is literal rather than like what is it, like esoteric or like kind of like philosophical or maybe just like the spirit of it. But I don't believe that it's like a rule book that you have to follow as much as like a guideline where it's like, you should be kind to people and you should do this. And I don't think it's like you cannot sleep with that person until you're married or else you're not going to heaven. You cannot smoke, Like that kind of stuff is where I get like fucked with it and I'm kind of like, I don't agree with that.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing to say, maybe try your best to be the best person you can be. So, sleeping around or whatever, let's try, let's not do that or whatever it is. Or, having those but having strict rules of saying you're going to hell if this doesn't, if you don't follow the way, it's scary. It's definitely puts a lot of fear on you.
Interesting topic.
Right? Yeah, we could talk about that.
It's
for
a good
long
one.
time.
I start to think like about, by the fruits you'll know them. And that's a good one because, I look at my life, when I was a Mormon, I was this way, and I think I was a lot better person about a lot of things. Like I was, so on it, so honest, so like, no ever doing these things. I was, so good, and I'd help people. But I think now maybe now I'm like, I'm not as good at a lot of those things. I'm pretty good about other things like doing cool things and for people, inspiring people. Different things, maybe. I don't know. It's an interest. I try and think like, am I a better person then?
You view like the value of yourself different now because you're not following it.
For me, I think psychologically because I grew up with these,
instilled
these
in you.
rules. It's instilled in my brain. That's a hard one to break. Religion's a really, really serious thing on the head. So for me, like I do sometimes think like, oh, I do that bad, but maybe I do these things good, and it's like hard. So, like, I think we're all our biggest self-judges. We judge
Absolutely.
us,
100%. I mean, I don't think like when you think about God, I don't think that there's a God up there that's like looking down at you. That's like you're doing that wrong and you're not allowed here anymore. Or you're doing this,
Yeah.
That's not the way that I view it. I just choose not to, and maybe that's just me. But your phone going off there?
Yeah.
You're a popular guy.
I'm a hit.
You really are.
Yeah.
Griff, just for a sec, just want to say if you're like really bored or something like that, or you're uncomfortable, you can go rip Fortnite, you can go in the jacuzzi, you can go do whatever you're feeling.
Just like how it's sitting in your jacuzzi, I'm fucking the other.
You can go do whatever you want, man.
Water anymore. It's such a dick.
What?
Where this?
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, Griff got all cut up. Burned.
Dude.
You got a burn?
Yeah, my friend burned me with a steamer. A steaming iron. Didn't think that it would burn, but in hindsight, I don't know how someone doesn't think that would burn someone.
Yeah.
There's boiling water coming out of a metal
That's just a
plate.
stupid play.
Just a true movie like that.
This is a question that would be right on that same topic. Is if you had the chance to be immortal, would you choose it?
Yeah.
Really? This is
yeah.
think about what your answer though, because immortal does
No,
not
I think
mean
about that a lot.
immortal means you can never ever die. Like you cannot, even if you want to.
I'm scared of dying.
Yeah, but still at the same time.
Why?
I don't know. The idea of nothing scares me.
But there's no way there's nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Then. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you
then
think
I'm into
about
that. If like afterwards I'm like a happy flowing thing.
Yeah.
In some esoteric being of all being type thing, I'm happy.
Yeah.
On the other end, if I'm a resurrected or reincarnated Conrad in his perfect form, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But nothing scares me.
Yeah, but there's an interesting talk about that on that topic where people are scared of nothing, but to be scared of nothing, to go nowhere, to just go and be in this dark black space, still means that you go somewhere. So it's still a place. So to be scared that you're going to go to nowhere and that there is nothing after is still somewhere. So that means that you're believing in somewhere.
Are you thinking
go.
like a black hole? Like you're
That
just
one's
gonna be
crazy.
like,
Well, just thinking, heart's dead, I'm dead.
Well, that's what I used to think about
Like,
too.
if
Is I used
there's
to
no
think of
soul,
death
no
as just
spirit.
like, you're. What happens when you die and you're just gone and you're just black and you can't get out
but
and
your
you're stuck.
spirit goes.
But that still is a place.
Yeah.
So that's not nothing. That is still just a place where everybody is just gone and is just there, which means that you're believing in a place that you go to that is just a black hole. But I don't think that that's. I mean,
JT, you're so untethered.
right?
I'm trying to wrap my head around
Dude,
this.
I used to really think about that. Not like all the time, but when I was higher, when I was just like, messing around and I would think like, what happens when you're dead? And then I would sit there and for a second be scared. I'd be like, fuck. I don't agree with that at all anymore though. After listening to that talk, I don't know. That talk was way more in depth though. It was on the Joe Rogan podcast. It's like, dude, talking about like people have this fear of death and have like this, like you go somewhere where you're just stuck and you're just black and you can never get out. But he's like, to fear that, you're still fearing a place that you go. You're still, if that nothingness is still a place. Oh. So it's like, then is that what you're fearing? Is that you go to a place?
I like that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. My biggest fear is the coffin, like buried alive in a coffin. Can't handle it. I always said if I die, you put me on like a board, kayak or whatever, push it into the ocean, just let me be. Like, or just leave me. I don't really even want to be burned that much.
I don't agree. I don't know if I believe like super heavily in like into reincarnation. I do believe in reincarnation. Like I think that something you come back as something else. Or your spirit comes back, not this JT, whatever. But
some sick wolf. You're gonna be a beast.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, you're gonna be a sick one.
I've never gotten to like past lives or anything either. Like I know some people that are really deep into thinking about. I'm sure in a past life I was this, but I don't know. But I definitely do think that like the world is created, Earth is created, people are created so that God can experience Himself in human form. So I think that like the essence of everyone is God. The essence of your spirit is like a piece of God, the kind of like ray of the sun that is God. You're still connected to Him, which is your spirit, which is your soul. So I think that
immortality I'm good with. I'm good with all of them.
Immortality. Did you say you agree? Like you would want?
Well, as long as my spirit or something goes on, I'm happy.
Your spirit will go on.
Spirit goes on.
I'd like to be a better me.
Mortality,
like,
dude. Think about how scary immortality would be. You're here forever. You get it. No matter, even if you were to be this age right now, you can never, ever, ever be gone. You can never choose to. So you're here forever. You see all the people around you constantly grow up, die next to you, grow up, die next to you forever.
Conrad's
and you're
face.
this age wearing that beanie and that tank top.
Terrible
forever,
outfit.
right?
Yeah, forget it.
At the first when you hear that question, you're like, immortality. Fuck yeah, I want to live forever. I'm gonna be like on a yacht. But like, how long can you do that for? How long can you like?
Yeah.
You
can't do that forever.
Mortality is more. Have you not got that part in Untethered Soul yet? The death, that chapter.
I don't think so.
Oh, you read that chapter, it's gonna change everything for you.
Really?
Oh, it's gonna change everything because it just talks about how death is the
I'm
greatest
read
teacher
it tonight.
of life, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
So he's died
unreal.
and come back?
No, it's not dying, coming back. It's just like thinking about like, dude, everybody's so scared of death. What are you scared of? Like death is the greatest teacher because it makes you live for the day that you have. If you lived every day as if it was like your last day for you to be alive, you would live it a whole different way.
I'll share my favorite quote. Steve Jobs, Stanford commencement speech, 2013, maybe. He said, almost everything, all fear of expectation, all fear of failure, all pride, all fear of embarrassment, all these things fall away in the face of death, leaving only what's truly important. Remembering that you're going to die is the best way to escape the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You're already naked. There's no reason not to follow your heart.
So true, man.
So
seriously,
good.
I didn't know that he said that. That's a powerful quote.
Oh, yeah. The same
it's so
speech.
true,
He
though.
went nuts.
Yeah.
Great speech.
They have that one in the Untethered Soul, which I haven't memorized, but that was really good. I loved it.
You have that book?
It's talking about where the woman's like, I'm not ready to die, and he's like,
Yeah, I'm gonna
I've
read this
given
really
you
quick, 'cause this is the
365 days
This is the sickest quote ever.
already to live this year, and you're telling me you're not ready. Like, I've given you.
I can't believe you haven't read that part yet, man. Look at this. I got this
It's so
open
good.
already. Okay, Condor, let me go to this really quick.
You guys are both untethered.
Dude, it's the best book ever, man. Like, it
Coming
changes
over
your
today,
life.
seeing you guys' house, the way you're living. You guys are on a good one.
It changes your life, man.
Yeah.
Seriously. Okay, contemplating death. Check this out.
Oh, yeah. This is 17. You know I'm not there yet.
Yeah, this is the end.
All right. Yo.
What profile should they use? Big Bro or?
Yeah, use Big Bro and plug in the headphones.
Yeah, no. What's the
Or-
password though?
There's no password.
Because I need to do a password. It says, sign into the PlayStation Network.
Shit, I don't know. Try
Hockey.
no, try all lowercase Jonathan, Jonathan, and then 1. All right, this is a little detour there from Untethered Soul. Yo, listen to this, okay? This is the quote from Untethered Soul, the chapter on death that we were just talking about. Let's say you're living life without the thought of death, and the angel of death comes to you and says, "Come, it's time to go." You say, "But no, you're supposed to give me a warning so I can decide what I want to do with my last week. I'm supposed to get one more week." Do you know what death would say to you? Do you know what the angel of death would say to you? He'll say, "My God, I gave you 52 weeks this past year alone, and look at all the other weeks I've given you. Why would you need one more? What did you do with all of those?" If asked that, what are you going to say? How will you answer? "I wasn't paying attention. I didn't think that those days or those weeks mattered." That's a pretty amazing thing to say about your life.
I think I'm pretty good about that one when I'm like, I don't want to go to the DMV. I want to live my life. So everyone's like, "Conrad, you got to go to the DMV." I'm like, I don't want to go to the DMV.
It also
What if it's the last day of my life? I don't want to spend 6 hours at the DMV. That's what I got out of that quote, and a lot more.
Why not be bold enough to regularly reflect on how you would live that last week of your life? If you were to ask this question of people who are truly awakened, they wouldn't have any problem answering you. Not a thing would change inside of them. Not a thought would cross their minds. If death were to come in an hour, if death were to come in a week, or if death were to come in a year, they would live exactly the same way as they're living right now.
That's a good state
That's
to
what I'm
live
saying
in.
about death is like, yeah, it can be a scary thought if you don't, depending on
guides
what you
your way
believe
to
in,
live.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
it can be a great thing to show you how to live right now.
Exactly.
As if it is
Steve
the
Jobs
last week.
also said in that, he said, if too many days in a row you fall asleep and you're like, that's not what I wanted to do today. If I were to die today, you need to start changing. And I think he said 2 weeks. Because sometimes you got
Say that again.
So he said if too many days in a row, I think 2 weeks or something, I forget what limit he put on. I think you can all kind of give that some judgment based on your dreams. If you're not doing what you'd want to be doing if it were the last day you had on earth, then you need to start changing what you're doing. So basically, you got to get going on your dreams instead of like all the dilly-dally things we do. Like, I'll do that one day, or I'll be that person.
I agree
one
with
day.
that. I agree with that, but I also think like it doesn't necessarily need to be that you need to change your whole life and go out and do things externally. I think it might be more like you need to just change the way that you view it all. Like,
Yeah.
like it talks about in here, it's like if you were to be someone that was in the hospital and was told like that you have 1 week left to live, and you didn't know the weeks prior to, so you literally were just awakened as you're dead, you're awake, you're in the hospital, and you're told you have 1 week left to live. How would you live that week? Like, would you be really concerned about going out and getting a car, or would you be concerned about going? No, because you didn't have that past. You would be meeting all the people that you would be meeting. You'd be having the most intimate conversations. You'd be telling everybody you love them. You'd be so pumped for life. You wouldn't be like, fuck, I need to go get that $1 million house, or I need to go, So it's more of like the way that I view it is less of like going out and being like, this could be the last day that I'm alive, so I'm going to go out and I'm going to move to so-and-so and I'm going to swim for 6 months on the beach. It's more of like, this could be the last day I'm alive and the first day that I'm alive. So I'm going to enjoy the fuck out of it with exactly where I'm at right now.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to change the way that I view everything that's going on with what I'm doing right now. You know what I mean?
That's so true.
Yeah,
That's the way that I
think it's a
view it.
mixture of both for sure.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it probably is a mixture of both.
It reminds me of this cool thing. It's like you have important things and urgent things. And you have them every day of your life. And so important things is what you actually want. That's the real meat of life. And then the urgent things is stuff like your phone rings, you got to go to the DMV, you got to do all this garbage. And what usually wins is the urgent. And so it's like if you look at life, it relates to this because you want to do the important things, but it's so hard. Like this podcast right now, JT might change someone's life, but their phone might ring right now. And then they're going to go, pick up the phone. It's some dilly-dally stupid problem. and they're going to forget about the podcast. They're going to forget when they're reading a book. The phone ringing always takes precedence. When you could be reading a paragraph that'll change your life, change your mood for the moment, change your way of thinking, your perspective forever, just make you happy. Every day you have those, but you always choose like the phone or this or that. And sometimes those urgent things are important too, but most of the time they're not really important when you really look at them. I have them. We all have them.
That's a really interesting thought.
Yeah.
Importance versus urgency.
But yeah, that's absolutely true.
It's interesting.
And so how do you, like, I mean, I would say, yeah, the urgent things always end up taking
They win.
Like,
I think you guys are doing good. I was actually thinking about it earlier because it's like tonight, big night in Malibu, Habana, everyone's going. But that's more of an urgent thing. That's not important. You guys can find more meaning, more value in, talking, having intimate conversations, staying where you are, being at peace, than having to do this urgent thing of going out, seeing what's happening at Habana tonight. That's urgent.
dude, that's a...
So you guys are on fire.
Dude, that's an awesome way to think about it. I'm gonna write that down.
I always try and think like, is this an important thing or
Yeah.
an urgent thing?
Super interesting. I like that a lot.
I do like that a lot.
Yeah. Let's see how long we've been going here for, and if it's been around.
Are we on fire right now?
Yeah, we're on fire, bro. Have you had fun?
Great
Having a
time.
great time.
Having a great time.
60, 70. We're at an hour and 25.
This is great.
Right?
Yeah, this is great.
Right? Is
Yeah.
this something you can see yourself doing regularly?
Bro, I'd love to do it regularly.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
This would be
You can
awesome.
just sleep here. Just hang here.
You're gonna live in this closet.
Yeah.
You're moving in. Dude, you live like 3 blocks away.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Boss.
I've already been thinking about how we could figure out the garage.
We actually have a blow-up mattress in this closet right here.
That's
Bro,
classic.
if you're trying to move in, man.
Cruise through.
You can sleep here whenever you want. But literally, you are 4 blocks away in probably
Yeah,
a 6 times nicer house.
Yeah, it's
I
insane.
can only imagine.
I mean, I'd probably take this. This is mental. This
Well,
spot's
maybe you
sick.
buy this one and then you let us live here, and then
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, I agree.
We'll
with that.
really push the rent down if I take the garage.
What would you push the rent down to? No, you can have the garage, man. That's my gym. What do you mean have the garage?
Like, that'd be my room.
No
That'd
way.
be my
Yeah,
Can't do
space.
that, though. You could have this room.
No, this is the studio.
We can move this stuff over the side, and will you have your bed?
Uh,
We could
This
build a bed
room's
into the
so
wall.
small.
we can make that the TV, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And bed. Where
Oh,
would
yeah.
the bed go? It's a big closet.
When we first got here, I was like, yo, we should put one of those Murphy beds in the closet. Like the thing that looks like a dresser. Pull it down.
Whoa.
But she was not feeling that one.
No.
She was out on that.
Well, I mean, now it's your closet.
Now
Where
it's
would
my
you put
closet,
that?
too. Yeah.
Forget about it.
Forget
That's what happens
about
when
it.
You got a lot of clothes, man.
Yeah.
I'm pushed to this one. This is what happens.
Just notice your hat says sauce.
Sauce. Yeah, it's a hockey company.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
All right, let's wrap this up. That was unreal. I don't really think we need to do anything to wrap it up, but that was just awesome. And obviously, we'll do more since that was pretty.
It's the
How did you
cough
feel
on the
like?
walk.
How did, it's the
Choose
one
it.
thing I have. How did you feel like that? How do you feel like that was? I know probably coming into everybody that comes in is super nervous. But how did you feel?
I was a little nervous today, but I felt good.
This is the first one we've done in person, though.
You guys
We
are a
did the other
great
one.
pair.
We're a great team.
Yeah.
Me and JT
Yeah, a great team.
and
love it.
Sammy.
Yeah, I'm just
Sam, you can
I'm just
absolutely
here for
hop in.
moral support, honestly. I'm
Yeah.
just
You
here.
helped in a couple times though.
Yeah, but I'm just I'm just here.
You're
I'm not
just
here
You're more than
forever.
that.
I
Not
think
reduce yourself to that.
it's a lot easier too when like I'm less nervous, at least when I'm not like the center of attention.
Yeah, well, today if it was me, you, and another person, like obviously we would be asking them, and it's a lot less nerve wracking.
And then when I'm less nervous, sometimes I'll end up just like having a million thoughts.
Yeah.
A million.
I actually like more when I'm getting interviewed than when I am interviewing. I feel like
Let me interview
know.
you next time.
you can interview me whenever you want, bro.
That's a great idea.
But I feel like all of the talks that we'll have with a person is more just conversation. Like I think this is more conversation. The only interview part was like that I wanted to do your
crypto.
bio. Yeah, like your background and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when we dive into like the questions and stuff like that, which is why I love them so much, when you dive into the questions, it's just open.
That's my favorite part, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday we did this, and I interviewed Sam and asked him.
He did not interview me.
I was
We
not
had a
interviewing-
conversation.
Yeah, but at the beginning was
Because I
like
said, don't interview
the
me.
beginning was a little bit of bio,
Yeah.
but I think you have to.
Yeah, no. Interview a little bit's good. But then
But-
we had a full conversation.
Yeah.
It was unreal.
The funnest parts is literally ripping through the questions because it's literally 1,000 questions, and it just we went through 2.
Hottest couple in West LA for sure.
Is this West LA?
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
In
I can
LA.
consider that.
Unreal.
Guaranteed.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Greatly
it.
appreciated.
Maybe we'll have to do one on like Abbott Kinney,
Ooh, I'm
LA
down to do like a
LA culture.
do like an outdoor one. Like we're just remote from the streets.
I meant the topic. Like,
Oh, I thought you meant like straight up go into Abbott Kinney. Yeah, but what kind of stuff we talk about Abbott Kinney?
this is what everyone's into these days. Kale, smoothies.
So into kale. I love kale.
Do you follow trends?
I try a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
not good at it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, I know this trend now. I see
Yeah.
what everyone's doing, these birds and all that. You
Love
know?
the birds.
I feel like I'm always late.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really late on
I'm like
trends.
Post Malone Psycho. Everyone's like, that was last month, idiot. Travis
Last
Scott's
month,
new album.
that was like
Yeah.
I know
I feel like
Travis
that was
Scott.
like 6 months ago.
Was it?
Psycho?
What? Oh, Psycho. I thought you were talking about Travis
That's
Scott. Yeah.
old.
That is pretty.
Travis
pretty
Scott,
old.
that's pretty fresh.
That's fresh.
Like just him, Travis Scott?
Sicko mode.
no,
all
I
that.
think
Yeah,
his
it's
new album.
His new album's like
Yeah.
5 days. So you're up on trends then. There you go.
Yeah.
You knew Birds. Birds is like a couple months. That's like 6 months.
Yeah, and Bob, my boss, bought like 6 scooters just like the birds. We ride around and people think they're birds. They're like swiping. Like, how does
No.
it work? One guy ran
That's
off.
Oh,
of one.
really?
hilarious.
Yeah,
You
because we
leave
go
him
around
outside?
Cross Creek because he
Leave him
lives
outside?
right Malibu Road.
How
Yeah.
fast they go? What's the name of them?
16. The Segway's got one, and then the other one. I
Segways
forget.
are brutal though. Those just look brutal.
This thing's like a scooter though.
Oh, it's not a Segway. It doesn't roll like the Segway. Okay.
Full on, looks like a bird.
I love the birds. I'm a big birder. I also am a big limer because limes are after 9 p.m. Love limes.
Whoa, lime guy.
Right?
My
Birds
lips
are gonna get
chapping.
banned
I was
though.
Chatting.
Birds are about to get banned. They just got banned in Santa Monica.
No
Actually,
way.
the verdict was yesterday. I don't
Was
know.
it?
Yeah, but they're about to be banned. Griffin, you know if
I
birds
gotta
are banned in Santa
pee
Monica?
pretty bad.
Dude, they're getting birds everywhere.
Yeah, but they're getting banned.
They got banned in another state. I
They got
believe,
banned
right?
in Seattle.
Yeah.
They're banned in Santa Monica right now, 100%. And actually, the
Kids-
cutoff of them,
Kids are dying.
the
It's-
cutoff of the bird Santa Monica, Griff, you gotta get out of the camera, bro.
I didn't think you guys were still rolling. That's the whole point. Man.
Okay, well let's
Oh.
get off. Let's get off and we can
See
talk.
how my hair looks.
Wait, Conrad, what do you want to? Where do you want people to find you? Hit you up, message you if they have any thoughts on Mormonism or Russia or surfing or anything. Surf lessons in Malibu. Anybody that's out here, anybody that comes through.
You guys can hit me with a text. 310-924-4220.
Whoa, really? I love that.
Wow.
Well, I don't really go on Instagram, so if people want to chat.
But you do have your Instagram. What's your Instagram name?
Conrad Jack Carr. CONRAD JACKCARR.
I thought that was your last name. I thought your last
Jack
name was Jack
Carr.
Carr for a while.
I thought it was Jacker, which I thought was
Yeah,
pretty dope.
so
Wow.
How dope is that name?
Conrad Carr.
Jacker.
All right, and Samantha, you can find Samantha on Instagram too, Sami Clarke, and
Yeah.
then me, JT Barnett. And we love everybody that's listening, and we'll be back for more. And thank you. Hopefully this video works. You can watch it on YouTube if it is.
Late.
Why wouldn't it work?